So markets are seeing a little bit of green, trading sideways right now, and a lot of investors were anticipating this with the CPI inflation data that is going to be coming out tomorrow. The key news events that happen each week, I update you guys on every single Sunday, and this is something that we were expecting throughout the week, the volatility based off of all the data points and everything that was coming out. Right now, there's a lot of expectations around deviations, but there's a lot of also, potential upside with altcoins and how a lot of crypto bulls have been saying that altcoin season could be happening already in the next month or so, which we're going to be jumping through all those different perspectives. We also saw President Trump pardon CZ today, the founder of Binance, which was really crazy to see. And right now there's a lot of mixed perspectives on what's happening in the market. So with all that being said, if you're new to my channel, check out the rest of my content. I keep you updated on the day-to-day events, price action around Bitcoin, Ethereum, altcoins, how liquidity is shifting, and everything you need to be aware of. In yesterday's video, I talked about exactly the perspectives around Bitcoin and if we peaked already for the market and if altcoin season is even going to be happening. I'm going to drop a whole nother video about altcoin season, but I really recommend you go watch that video. Really great perspective around exactly, what's happening in the markets, the 4-year cycle, are altcoins going to be seeing their time in the sun, and why everyone feels like the markets are done. But today we're going to walk through the price action, what you need to be aware of, and exactly what everyone is focusing on. So let's jump straight into it. So as I said, markets are trading sideways, but we're seeing a little bit of green in the markets with the potential of upside due to the CPI inflation data that a lot of people are expecting and the key news events and data. Also, we're seeing talks about a deal between Trump, United States, and China. So China's president has already agreed to a specific date, which we're going to be jumping into. This is super important. Bitcoin dominance has been on a rally, which is showing that liquidity is completely just kind of shifting out of multiple assets and moving back into Bitcoin. But this is something a lot of people were expecting moving into the end of October and the beginning of November, something that we were talking about. Altcoin season is also something that a lot of people have been wondering, is it even going to be happening anymore? But based off of different perspectives, I'm seeing that, a lot of people are expecting that we're going to be seeing upside in the next month or so. So we're going to be talking about that as well. But if we look at the price action around Bitcoin, around Ethereum, everything is seeing downward price action in terms of a high time frame. But in terms of a shorter time frame, everyone believes that we could be seeing upside. Now, we are testing specific ranges with Bitcoin and Ethereum, how we have just been staying in a specific channel for honestly, the last few weeks, and seeing exactly if we can even push back to the upside. Biggest zone that we want to break for Bitcoin, I talked about it in yesterday's video and the video before that, is breaking that 115,000 region. If we can't break 115,000, then we can't break out of previous resistance and pretty much where we, close and open on a weekly time frame. And this just goes to show that we are just consecutively breaking down. So hopefully that doesn't continue. Now, Ethereum is also kind of doing the same thing, staying within a specific channel. And if we can't reclaim that 4,200 region, it is also not going to look too bright for Ethereum, especially, expecting the Fed to cut rates already very, very soon. We're, anticipating somewhat of an upward price action, but is it going to be a short-lived pump? That's the expectation that everybody is wondering. Altcoins right now, in terms of a shorter time frame, because you can see we're on the hourly time frame, are seeing a little bit of a pump to the upside, a little bit of a correction. But again, we're still kind of ranging right now, waiting for Ethereum to reach back to those higher, highs, hopefully break 5,000 so that we can initiate altcoin season. Until Ethereum actually does that though and reclaims these specific regions to then have the strong price action to break above our previous all-time highs, we're not going to be seeing altcoin season happen. Benjamin Cohen talked about this multiple different times, and I think it's really great to go follow him and get his perspective on this because he's been here for much longer than me. You can take his advice, don't take mine. Now, Bitcoin dominance has been on a gradual increase, and in terms of the range that this has been, it's been to the upside, guys. And this was after, of course, the crazy rip up that we saw for Bitcoin dominance whenever we saw the massive liquidation event happen. And we're on an hourly time frame, and you can see this range and this squeeze that's been happening, but it's still in an upward trajectory. So this goes to show that liquidity is really shifting back into Bitcoin and has consecutively been doing so. And more than likely, we're probably going to be seeing it happen just a little bit longer. Now, the Kobesi letter has been keeping us updated on all the key news events that happen. They are the ones that kind of let us know on Sunday what to expect moving into the next week. And I let you guys know about that. And we've been seeing consecutive, reports from different, earnings, around different companies and sectors. And on top of that, the biggest thing that we have been seeing an update around is the talks between China and the United States and a deal between President Xi and also Trump. So right now, stocks are extending gains with the NASDAQ 100 now up 1% today and the S&P 500 just 20 points away from a record high. President Trump has confirmed an October 30th in-person meeting already with China's president, and we're awaiting a trade deal next. So all eyes are on October 30th right now, guys. Is a deal going to be happening? I am not too sure. The day after that is Halloween, so I could really see him not doing a deal and then just causing a whole bunch of scares in the market. It's really psychological, but I don't know. Only in due time will we actually see if a deal takes place. If a deal takes place, that's going to be a really good catalyst for altcoins and for the crypto markets. But if we don't see that go through, expect more volatility. Now, in terms of the upward price action that we've been seeing around Bitcoin and around the markets in the last 24 hours, it's really based off of exactly the data and information that's coming out. A lot of people, as we start to see, information start to come out, a lot of people anticipate different narratives and what's going to be pushed based off of the data that a lot of people are anticipating. People start to front run the market. So what does this mean? People start to position themselves. People start to buy a lot of assets. People start to open up those longs, and as a result, we start to see a lot of liquidity start to pour back into the markets. Now, does this last very long? No, it does not last very long, and this is why I'm honestly expecting that there's going to be a short-term push to the upside. If Bitcoin can't break that 115,000 region, which again we have talked about multiple times, we're not going to be ripping back up. And honestly, with the CPI data that's coming out tomorrow, more than likely we're going to be ranging until that happens, and then from there we're probably going to be seeing an explosive move to the upside, and then from there probably a gradual decrease. But again, we're just ranging right now until we get more data, which the biggest thing and where all eyes are on is the Fed and Fed week, whenever we're going to be seeing rate cuts. Now, in terms of the bull perspectives in the markets, a lot of people are anticipating that altcoin season is already going to be happening, especially with the markets and the charts around Bitcoin dominance. Kaleo kind of goes over this. He said same thesis from January holds for Bitcoin dominance. It's shown a bit of strength over the past month, but I see it as only a matter of time before we see it take another leg down. I still believe in the extended alt season that's coming. And this is something that a lot of people have a lot of mixed perspectives on, but you can see his comparison right here and how in the previous cycle when Bitcoin dominance was crashing down, seeing a little bit of upside and then had a massive deviation. And that is exactly what he's expecting to happen right now in 2025 moving into 2026. Is it going to be happening? We honestly do not know. I'm honestly feeling quite bullish about this though, and honestly think that yes, this could be happening as long as we see all the proper catalyst events and everything happen. We have to see everything align in the markets. We can't just expect that the chart's gonna play out exactly the way we think it is. But if we start to see everything align, that's whenever altcoin season can start. And this is a great comparison showing exactly when Bitcoin dominance started to crash down back in the previous altcoin season and what we're currently seeing right now. So this is a very great chart, guys. Very good post from Kaleo. Virtual Bacon, another individual that is talking about potential upside in the market. He pretty much is talking about exactly how President Trump pardoned Binance founder CZ, saying we're living in a simulation and how there's going to be some crazy peak crime that's about to take place. And I really agree with it. I think there's going to be a lot of market manipulation. I'm sure there's some side deals that have been taking place. But at the end of the day, the biggest thing that you need to know is that this is, positive news for the markets. Everyone gets very bullish when we see news like this. So you should be getting bullish as well. And Virtual Bacon kind of, gives the same perspective as Kaleo, just saying that do you believe we're early, mid, or late in the current cycle, and that patience always pays off in crypto. So if you're one of those individuals, guys, that you're down in the dumps right now, your altcoins are down, believe me, I'm right there with you. Do not stress about it. More than likely, we're going to be seeing all these altcoins get a lot of liquidity shifted back into them as long as you're investing in strong altcoins, but it's a matter of time. And if you're not willing to hold, you're not going to be seeing that upside. Now, Benjamin Cohen has been the individual that has been preaching Bitcoin dominance all of this cycle, and it is a very great chart and indicator to really focus on to let you know how liquidity is shifting out of Ethereum and altcoins into Bitcoin. This is super important to understand because whenever Bitcoin dominance starts to crash down, like Kaleo so beautifully pointed out, that's whenever we see altcoin season start. And this is why I always start my videos by showing you guys the price action around Bitcoin dominance, the total 3E chart, and Ethereum and Bitcoin. This is super important to anticipate, and this is something that I'm gonna keep you guys updated on as we keep on progressing, and hopefully whenever the altcoin season actually begins and starts. As I said, markets are trading sideways, everything is ranging, and it's based off of the CPI inflation data and more data that's going to be coming out tomorrow, and what everyone is expecting. Everyone is front running the markets right now, and overall, altcoins right now are, seeing a little bit of a correction, but also not too much. You can see my altcoins in terms of the 24-hour. A lot of them are not doing too hot. These assets are down significantly, guys. Very, very bad. I get paid tomorrow, and I'm actually going to be throwing some money into the markets. Now, we're probably going to be seeing a little bit of a pump, but a lot of altcoins that I'm investing in have already bottomed out. And this is where you need to go look at the ranges for a lot of altcoins that you're investing in. Are they still up 20 to 30%? Then that means they can still have, another 20 to 30% drawdown, potentially even more. A lot of assets are already down 60 to 70 to 80%. And it's because a lot of the people that were investing into these assets didn't necessarily believe in them, and they sold them already. And now the only people that are holding the assets are the people that actually believe in them, which is why anyone that buys into these assets at very low increments is going to be making a lot of money. So I hope you guys are one of those individuals. Keep up to date with all the news events and information that comes out in the price action. That way you can have an understanding. The key news events that happened this week, we were updated on since Sunday, guys. I let you guys know about this stuff, which is why, I don't really stress about this. We expect a lot of things happening in the market, but if you don't keep up with this on a day-to-day basis, you're going to get lost. You don't understand what I'm talking about, and then, you start talking crap. So don't be one of those individuals. Start to learn, start to progress, be a sponge, learn more about the markets so that you can position yourself more correctly. If new to my channel, check out the rest of my content. I try to keep you all updated on the day-to-day events, price action around Bitcoin, Ethereum, altcoins, how liquidity is shifting, and everything you need to be aware of. If you guys have any questions or suggestions, drop them down below. Expect volatility. Do not capitulate your bags. And hopefully, guys, I see you tomorrow. I drop day-to-day content every single day, so just stay tuned. And hopefully, we see altcoin season together. All right, I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Peace.